The views expressed are solely those of the speaker and not necessarily those of Paltalk.com, AVM software, or its advertisers.
News Talk is online. News Talk Online is a production of Paltalk.com, the largest multimedia interactive program on the internet with more than 4 million unique users on demand on YouTube and on iTunes. And at my blog, GaryBaumgarten.com, I urge you all to read it and make comments on all the issues that we discuss here on News Talk Online. It's your forum that we provide for you. And thanks to our friends at CRN Digital Talk Radio. We're coast to coast across America into 12 million households. I'm your host, Gary Baumgarten. We're going to be talking in just a second about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, which I predicted a short time ago was going to erupt into a conflagration, and sadly, I think I was accurate about that. But before we get to that, Boaz, do you remember about a year ago we were talking about malaria and how people in Paltalk could contribute a few dollars to save lives with mosquito netting?
Oh yeah, sure, absolutely. Remember that very well.
Well, fortunately for us, Lance Lafer, the founder of Madness Against Malaria and a Paltalk board member, wandered in today for a board meeting, and I grabbed him. I said, Lance, you're going to be a guest at the beginning of the show here before we talk about these other weighty issues that present us here across the world. Lance, welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
So last year, Paltalk, meaning the users of Paltalk, participated in this competition, whereby with a $5 donation, $5, ladies and gentlemen, you can save the life of 2 children. Now, how is that even possible?
Well, malaria is spread by mosquito bites, and the mosquitoes that spread malaria bite primarily at night. And so what we do is we put up a bed net, and the bed net goes over a bed that a child can sleep in. But actually, in Africa, there's two children will sleep to a bed,
right?
And both children, the bed net's spread out wide enough to have enough room for 2 children. So basically, what we're trying to do is get enough bed nets out there so that we can cover all of the children first, and then all of the adults in Africa and the other areas of the world where malaria is a big problem.
Now, this is a worldwide competition. This to raise money against malaria.
Right. It's madnessagainstmalaria.com.
The good news is last year, Paltalk users, not Paltalk, you, our users, took Paltalk into 4th place.
Into the Final Four.
Into the Final Four.
Basically, the way the tournament works is it's similar to the March Madness basketball tournament. And basically, every 2 weeks, there's the competition goes up against each other. We take the top 64 teams, and then the top 64 teams are bracketed against each other in head-to-head fundraising tournaments over a 2-week period. So there are basically 6 rounds, and the teams get whittled down to where there's a championship round. Last year, Paltalk's team got to the Final Four and raised enough money to buy a lot of bed nets to put over the heads of a lot of children in Africa. And we thank all of the users very much, because it's a lot of lives get saved. And the nice thing is that it's not just the money that you raise on the team page. You also push the people that you're competing against to raise more money. The more the better we do. And on our team, on the Paltalk team, somebody has to compete with us. So that's the method behind the madness over there.
So the good news, we were in the Final Four. The bad news is we didn't walk away with a trophy.
Right.
So this year is the year to now you and I were talking about this. There's competition, but we could actually create. Now we just 30 seconds before coming to air, we came up with this brainstorm. You can actually have competition within competition, basically.
Right. It's an open platform, and so basically anybody can come in and form a team. So there's, like, for instance, there's a team called Sock Monkeys Unite, which is a team, a young lady, a girl, and I think she's like 11 or 12. She put together a team, and she's now like one of the top 5 teams. It's the
Right.
Sock Monkey team, and
Right.
anybody can come in and form a team for their own interest or whatever. And we thought it would be a great idea to have the different rooms come in and form their own teams
And compete with one another.
compete with one another, compete against everybody else. We could have 30. We might have, out of the top 64 teams that qualify on March 14th, 30 of them could be Paltalk teams.
Right.
If if everybody, like, right now it doesn't cost that much, then we don't have to raise that much to make it into the tournament. So I would encourage that approach very
So like
much.
Politics Lobby 4 could compete against mainstream politics. 2 different rooms of Paltalk.
Right. See who has the bigger heart, bigger connections, and
Gary could compete against Boaz.
Right.
That wouldn't be fair. Sorry, Boaz. I couldn't put you down like that. We wouldn't do
No
that.
competition. No competition.
Okay. The URL, www.
madnessagainstmalaria.com.
Malaria.com. Now, if you guys think that this 5-minute interlude with Lance is the last you're going to hear about this, you're wrong. Because I'm going to be beating you over the head about it. I'm going to be reminding you here. I'm going to be traveling around Paltalk reminding you about it. And we're going to get you all to at least donate to the Paltalk effort, or you could create your own. The idea is raising the money and saving the lives of the kids.
Yeah, and then the idea is to do as good a job and to really, as much as anything, push each other and push the other people in the world, because this is a complete genocide of apathy. I mean, there are 500 million people a year who get malaria. And that's almost 8% of the whole world. Between 1 and 3 million are dying. 90% of them are children. There's no more critical need in the world. You're about to go and discuss war. This is about, war.
This is a war too.
This is a
war against children.
This is peace.
Yeah.
This is about peace, and this is about all of us working together to save our brothers. And this should be the type of war we should be talking about fighting. And hopefully everybody will find a way to create peace, happiness, and saving each other. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
guys.
Lance.
All right, be well.
Okay, take care.
Thank you. Be well, everybody.
Okay, very good. Lance Laker. Thank you very much, Lance. Well, now let's talk about the other war, and that's the war in the Middle East. Boaz, I suggested a little over a week ago we were heading for a conflagration there. I sadly, I was right about that. The rockets keep flying into Israel from the Gaza. More sophisticated rockets have encroached further into Israel proper. The Israeli government is in a position where if it doesn't do anything to protect its own people, it'll suffer a vote of no confidence, and rightly so. But of course, we know that the IDF, the Israeli Defense Forces, are second to few. And they're very powerful, and they overmatch the Palestinians, and they came by over the weekend, starting last Wednesday, but especially over the weekend, with an iron fist. The Palestinians are shooting the rockets out of populated areas. And so if you go to take out an area where the rockets are being launched, of course, you are going to be killing civilians. And so Israel is now being condemned for using what is being called disproportionate force. This was the same kind of criticism that successfully caused Israel to withdraw from Lebanon when it was going after Hezbollah with no victory whatsoever.